Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur, and welcome to IFYL Inspirations for Your Life. Thanks so much for dropping in. I'm really happy that you're here. And we had a great kickoff with Dr. Stimmel just yesterday. He gave us an amazing set of knowledge to share with us, and it was just great to learn about all these things that he was sharing with us and how you know um, there's things that our body has that we're not aware of, and I think this is something that a lot of people don't realize is that it's something we have to think about in our everyday life. Okay. So Dr. Stillman actually gave us a great welcome yesterday. I had a Dr. Stimmel a few months ago. Dr. Stillman, excuse me. So he actually gave us a great education on our body with the different things and the importance of those different nutrients and metabolism, things like that. So definitely catch that show if you didn't catch it. Thanks so much for being here with me, whether you're here at 11:22 p.m., 11:22 a.m. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you, or 3 a.m., 3 p.m., or maybe 4 a.m. or 4 p.m. Really do appreciate you. So our master topic of the week is what we don't know about our bodies. Again, I'm still looking for that owner's manual. It didn't quite seem to surface yet. And tonight's master topic is only part of our body that has zero blood flow. Now, you're probably saying to me, John, this is really like wacky because I didn't know there was any part of our body that didn't get blood flow, because if we don't have blood flow, things would die, right? Well, the thing that's really interesting about this is the amazing part that people don't understand all they have. And I think it's just a matter of being on the line. And so, knowledge is power, right? So, the only part of your body that has zero blood flow. Is everybody ready for it? By the way, we're on series 3, show 29, episode number 2. We're in our third year. It's the cornea. The cornea gets its oxygen from the air, but it doesn't get any blood flow. And we're always taught that if an organ doesn't get blood flow, it would die, right? Well, that's not the case with the eye. Pretty cool, right? So let's dig a little bit deeper and let's talk about, how does the eye actually stay alive? That might sound cryptic, but I think you guys are going to really appreciate this, because when we think about it, first of all, the cornea tissue heals usually in 24 to 36 hours. Now, it receives its nutrients from tear fluid. That's right. The cornea receives its nutrients from tear fluid. That's wacky, guys. That is so wacky that it makes no sense. But the truth of the matter is, it does make sense. It makes a lot of sense. All right. So that's one thing. Also, neurotrophins, which are basically protein producing, and they're basically supplying the protein to the nerve fibers. And so that's the other way it stays alive. And the cornea has 5 layers. I'm not sure if you guys know this, but I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what they are. So you have 5 layers of the eye. All right. If we're to look at it from, top to bottom, the best thing to understand is that, we start with, like I said, we start with 5 layers of the eye. And that's probably the easiest thing to understand. We start off with the epithelium layer. Then we have the Bowman's layer, the stroma, the Descemet's membrane, and the endothelium. Wow, that's a lot a lot of stuff. So our eye is pretty powerful. So the epithelium layer, as you'd guess, is the very first layer. It's the outer layer. It's the surface layer of the cells. They provide barrier function and smooth surface for the tear film. The Bowman layer is a tough layer of basement membrane right under the epithelium. And this layer is tough and it keeps the cornea from swelling forward, which means when the cornea swells, it must do so backwards into the anterior chamber. Then we have the stroma, the third level down, composed of a highly arranged collagen set of fibers and supporting karyocytes. And the cornea stroma provides the majority of the cornea's structure. Injuries at this level can also cause scars. Then we have the decimate layer. By the way, the stroma is the biggest layer. Then we have the decimates layer, an inner layer of basement membrane. And this layer is important for the health of the endothelial cells. One of the leading needs for cornea transplant is from the dystrophia of the decimates layer called the Fuchs dystrophy. And then the last layer is the endothelium. The endothelium is a crucial layer as it works as a barrier and a pump that keeps the cornea from getting too wet. So its job is to pump out stuff, but again, not keep it too dry and not keep it too wet. So it has to have a balance. Now, most of these layers seem pretty simple, especially the epithelium, the stroma, and the endothelium. And, the thing is, the way a lot of people think about it is the location of the layers is similar to is like the deep. So while the Bowman is up in the what they call the bell tower, okay, the epithelium is like the top, very top. Then you get the Bowman, then you got the stroma, which is a very big part. Then you got the decimate membrane, and then you've got the endothelium, which is the crucial layer, which works as a barrier and a pump that keeps the cornea from getting too wet. I think that's pretty cool. Knowing this about our eyes, I think is really powerful. And understanding this, that is just really cool. All right. So, also, as we talked about, the neurotrophins are supplying, as I said, the nutrients from the protein that they produce into the nerve fibers. We talked about the 5 layers of the eye. And yes, the eye can filter out UV rays, but I want to encourage you to not count on that. You should wear UV sunglasses. You should wear a brimmed hat. And it's good to do both because the hat will knock off a lot of it, but you still want to wear sunglasses. So the eye is a very interesting organ. The front surface of your eye absorbs 99% of the UV radiation on the surface of the eye. This UV damage predisposes to cancerous growth as well as non-cancerous growth, like many that we might have heard of. But the thing about it is you need to protect your eyes. As I said, a wide-brimmed hat or cap will block out about half of the UV rays, and then you should also wear a pair of good UV sunglasses. People ask, do eyeglasses block UV light? So you need to have protection from UV rays, which is not inherent in plastic lenses. You can have a UV protective coating applied to a plastic lens, but a polycarbonate lens basically have the built-in UV protection. So glass lenses protect your eyes from harmful UVB, but not from UVA. So this is very interesting. So what is the difference between UVA and UV? It's actually called UVA and UVB rays. So UVA is a longer wavelength that penetrates deep into the skin, reaching layers beneath the skin. UVAs are associated with skin aging, inflammation, of skills, cancer from skin. UVB is shorter waves, and they can cause skin to burn. UVB is a major driver of skin cell mutations that cause skin cancer. So again, the real difference is UVA rays have a lower amount of energy and a longer wavelength than UVB rays. They can enter the middle layer of your skin called the dermis, and the UVA rays for 95% of the UV radiation. They have a role to play in the formation of some types of skin cancers. So very important to understand them and what they do, but just important to understand. Let me say this again. You can have a UV protection coating applied to plastic lenses, but polycarbonate lenses have built-in UV protection. Glass lenses protect your eyes from harmful UVB rays, but not UVA rays. So which is more harmful? Which is more harmful? UVA or UVB? So UVA rays are slightly less intense than UVB, but they penetrate your skin more deeply. Okay. So in the case of this, to understand this, is that glass lenses protect your eyes from harmful UVB rays, but not UVA. The polycarbonate will protect you, okay, from the other types. So you can have UV protection to a plastic lens, but a polycarbonate lens has built-in UV protection. So glass lenses protect your eyes from harmful UVB, but not the UVA. So that's pretty interesting. So the question is, do sunglasses block from UVA and UVB? Most sunglasses, they have UV protection embedded in the lens rather than coated in it. And most reputable brands list UV protection on their label. You can look for a label that says either of two things: 100% protection against UVA and UVB. The interesting thing about it is that when you buy a good pair of sunglasses, okay, you want to make sure that they are protecting against these things, UVA and UVB. But again, if they have glass, they will not be able to protect you as the others. So that's very, very important to understand. Picking the best sunglasses might seem hard. Dark sunglasses don't offer more protection. In fact, dark sunglasses that don't block harmful rays may reduce your need to squint in bright light, but they could cause you more health issues. Polarization has nothing to do with UV light absorption, so this might confuse you. Don't let it. Check the label to make sure the lenses provide maximum UVA and UVB protection. Consider wrap around sunglasses if you spend a lot of time outdoors, especially around water. These sunglasses protect from UV rays that come in from the sides. And this design will also stop the wind that makes your eyes dry. So just some neat little ideas. And I think, this whole week we're going to be talking about parts of the body and things that we didn't know about them. Like, how many of you guys knew all this stuff about the eyes? I didn't before I did my study. All right, guys, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been an amazing privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic Sunday evening. Hey, don't forget to check out all the shorts we've started releasing in the last month or so. That's where we actually take some key parts of every show and we put them up anywhere between 2 to 5. And they're really short 20 to 60 second shorts that go up on TikTok, they go up on Facebook, and they're really a great way for you to see if you want to sit down and watch or listen to the whole show. So we made it really easy so that you guys can get a taste of our show without having to commit to the whole show. Ladies and gentlemen, again, you know who I am. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, and I hope you remember it's very important to protect your eyes. When you go outside, I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if the sun's out. I don't care if it's cloudy. Wear your sunglasses all the time. All right, guys, have a great night, and I'm going to catch you real soon. Have a good one. Be well.